everybody and welcome to a very quick third party video thanks to the team over at Show Z Store. Today we're taking a look at Fans Toys Goose. Yes, I know I'm a little bit late to the party, but I'm still clearing my backlog. It sounds like something I need to get tablets for already, doesn't it? This is FT-30C for Charlie. This is the Fans Toys 2019 take on a masterpiece inspired Skydive. One of my favourite aerial bots. Lovely artwork on the front. Huge fan of the artist. Follow him on Facebook as well. He comes out with some amazing little pieces. We've got Goose up the top there. Information on the back. We've got a very small kind of bio on Goose, and then we've got him in his bot mode. We have him alongside Silverbolt and in his gorgeous jet mode. And here we have him out of his foam prison on the turntable. He's a fairly substantial young lad. It's not the smoothest of motions on there, but absolutely adore the colour scheme on Skydive. One thing that does bug me, it's that back piece. I'd like that to have been central, or folded central at least. I love my symmetrical transformers. It's just something that is slightly off, but it's the back of the figure. I'm not going to display him with his back showing. I mean, I'm not even sure I'm going to display these in Superior mode. May just have them all in their robot modes and keep the Zeta Superior on there. We'll see how things go. Be interesting to see when it's all fully combined in hand. He doesn't have the insignia as standard. That's just a spare I had laying around, which I've decided to add to his chest. As you can see, he is sporting two very nice pistols. He also comes with an alternative faceplate as well, with a kind of a grrr looking face. I do have a QC sticker, QC21. Not had any problems with that particular person. It's 31, I think, that I kept getting broken figures, but hey, maybe he's been sacked. Who knows? Really do like Goose. He's a very good looking figure. I've seen many pictures of this guy, saw some of 6.0's pictures of him and thought it looks outstanding, but it isn't until you have him in hand that you realise just how fabulous the paint apps are. Now again, Fans Toys have opted for this kind of metallic-ish style, which kind of begs to differ. Are they then going to release a toon accurate colour scheme, which is more of a matte finish? Only time will tell. But for me, I'm more than happy with this particular version. I'm not going to go down getting the different kind of repaints, etc. This and the Zeta together, that's going to be more than enough. Superior for me. I mean, just taking a look at him closer, he is such a good looking figure. Amazing face sculpt on there, and the colours are just absolutely sensational. Really nice mix of plastics and die cast. We've got die cast around these sides to support the weight of the figure. Really nice ratcheted joints. Just look at the blue. I mean, that is almost like a Ford Capri electric blue. That is such a vibrant yellow in the mix there as well. We think that's an acceptable amount of kibble, considering the history of the character and what he looked like in the show. They did all have this kind of jet section on the back. I didn't like what they did with Motormaster with his backpack. Then again, they included the majority of his trailer all kind of combined into that section, didn't they? This is just kind of the top end of the jet. So what do we think? Do we think that's acceptable? Personally, I do. I like how that looks, albeit I'm still not a fan of how this goes. I don't know whether I could have maybe, I don't know how they would have positioned this differently so it all kind of corrugated in. I'm not sure. But as it stands, I like how he looks. As far as scale goes, I think that's a good, solid height. We've got the TE01 in the middle there as a prime to give you an idea. The leader figure, again, Silverbolt is bigger than Prime, but I think I'm okay. I'm okay with this scale as long as they are all around the same sort of height and their jets kind of mass shift slightly. Then I think it's going to look sensational. Now, I don't particularly like to get these faces out. I never switch them over, but the option is there. It's a kind of shouty face. I like to keep these stored as they are in the box, but I will go over how to change this out as well. But let's just cover his articulation. The head can look up. That's quite a nice upwards motion there. And down, not so much on the downwards motion. And we can look left and right. No quizzical tilting. Unfortunately, arms, really gorgeous ratchet going round. Out to the side on a friction joint. We do have an upper bicep rotation. Only a single joint on the elbow, which is a little disappointing. We do have rotation on the wrist and fully articulated hands. Do you not think that fans' toys make exceedingly small hands? I always think that the hands come up really quite small. We do have articulation on the legs. We have hip skirts to the front and side, allowing for very, very nice solid motion forwards, backwards, out to the side on a friction joint, upper thigh rotation in there, 90-degree bend on the knee, quite a nice looking knee joint as well, lovely kind of curve on that thigh, lets it sit in there nicely. The feet, we have up and down on the heel and toe, as well as a nice solid pivot there and some upwards and downwards motion on the actual foot. Now, topic of hot discussion, the waist joint. We don't have any abdominal crunch, nothing that can come forwards. We have motion going this way, but nothing going this way. It's due to the mechanism. It is an odd choice, but there's always ways and means around it. You just have to go the long way round, like this. And look, we're there. There we go. The waist has now rotated. It's not my particular method. It's not ideal at all, but there's always ways and means. Did you see what happened there with the back panel pieces? Let's just go backwards. I do like that these just go. They move with it. It's all a little extra panel piece which can just slide in, and we can square all that up again. I mean, it's not ideal. I'm not particularly sure why they took that route. There's probably logic behind it, but I know that a few people were disgruntled by that, but it's the Transformers fandom. We can't please everybody. Somebody's always going to have some sort of gripe about something, and fortunately for us, it's an amazing fandom, and there are so many different options. If people aren't happy with this, then don't buy it. It's as simple as that, I think. There are other options on the market. Face removal is nice and simple on Skydive. You literally just get underneath and pull that section out. Right, now, let's get him transformed up. Let's bring these arms up to the front. There's a tab on the underside, and we need to bring these fists inwards, like so, and then just close that back off. And then from here, get your nail under here. It's going to come up, and it's on a rocking hinge. This is going to rock and rotate upwards. Slide that all the way back up, so it sits flush like so. Bring this panel back down, and then from here, making sure that this is just square, we can then just push and compress those arms in. We can rotate the head around, push that back so that this section lifts up, come to the underside, and this whole chest panel is going to disengage like so, Our arms are on sliding hinges. We want to slide that down like so. Bring this joint inwards. Slide it outwards again so that we now have this section here showing. And that allows us to bring these arms into the center. So again, for this side, slide this joint down, which allows us to rotate it around as we come down. Push and slide that again. And that now allows for full rotation, he says, into that void. That tidies up really nicely. Just a couple of sliding hinges makes all of the difference. And to make sure that these are pushed back in so it clicks, bring this section here back down and push these tabs in, securing it into position. You want to push the heel spur in, and then the toe spur. Is the toe spur a thing? I think so. Whether you've got these displayed upwards, I actually have mine displayed downwards like so, but we need to bend it down so it's in this position. It's then going to slide through and around to here. It's then going to come up and this drops down and this comes in like this. Hip skirts to the front and side, lift up. You want to just bring this piece up for the second because we need to bring this side panel down. That allows us to slide this out. It's going to go all the way in and collapse. Tab that back in. We can then bring this panel back down, and these are going to push and tab in together like so. We can bring the hip skirts back down. These sections here are going to come untabbed and untabbed, which allows this whole piece here to drop down, and this is going to all come in back together and form the wings. Bring this panel piece down. That's going to form the tail fin. Make sure that our wings are like this at the moment. So we've joined this panel here together. That's fine. That can join in. This piece here has come across. And as you can see, we've got various different grooves here that need to line up. So we want to line these pieces up here. That's all going to go in nicely. And now that this has sunk into that void, we can bring these panels in, and this is all going to push and tab into position. Again on this side, push and tab in. This is all going to lock in. This is going to tab in like so. Lift these panels away from this head section. This is going to come down. This opens up. Lift up front of the cockpit. Lift the control panel up. Really nice detailing in there, isn't there? Bring the seat up. We have a wheel in there, which we do need to get behind there. It's quite stiff. Push that down and through. Yeah, all the way. Come on. There we go. Splendid. This is on an extending hinge. There's a little bit of movement just on this hinge here. Not a great deal, but just enough to kind of extend and retract. This is now going to line up. You see those notches just on that black piece. There we go. That's going to line up in there and in there like this. Just push those in. This can then come up, and that's going to sit and tab in, and same on this side. That's going to push and tab in like that. We can then bring the seat and control console back down, close the front of the cockpit up, and like magic, this should, he says, line up, and push and close that off. Look at that. We have some rear landing gear just hidden away on these side panels. Just bring that up like so, and there we go. His guns or his pupils, you can just bring those down, click that in, and we use this tab here, and they then sit rather nicely on the underside like so. Look at that. That is gorgeous. That's really nice and tidy. Very, very pleasantly surprised by those. I'm assuming these here have something to do with the combined mode. But for now, this is what we have, and it is sensational without a shadow of a doubt. I love Zeta, you know I love Zeta, but this is the jet mode. To give you an idea of scale, here he is with Masterpiece Bumblebee, and my poor old Kubenbao Junker Skywarp. That part's fallen off him at the back there now as well. He's missing an arm, etc. as well, but he is the same size as the official MP, so it gives you an idea of how they fare. It's a pretty decent size. I mean, so much so that I believe somebody showed a picture of this cockpit section open. It may have been 6A. It may have been one of my amazing Patreon supporters. If it was, then I apologise. I cannot remember who on earth showed it. It may have been Sam or Kieran, actually, one of the two. But the cockpit section here is actually big enough to near enough fit MP Spike in as well from the Bumblebee or from the Optimus Prime figure, which is insane. I mean, that is ruddy massive. I love the clicking with authority there. Really gorgeous piece. Very, very happy that I've joined the party, albeit I'm a little bit later than most. I'll include a link where this can be purchased in the description below that takes you through to Show Z store. I'll leave a tab to their Fans Toys listings as well. Bear in mind that it is still the Chinese New Year, so most businesses in China won't start operating again till around the 4th or 5th of February, so just please bear that in mind if you do make any purchases. I will do a full comparison with all of these figures along with Zeta counterparts when we get the full range from Fans Toys, but until then, from myself and Goose, thanks for watching. Goodbye.